Hi guys, and welcome to a special look at low-level engineer PvE gameplay for Firefall, and this is your host, Peabutnutterninja. And guys, I am so excited to bring you this gameplay because if you've played Team Fortress 2 or Global Agenda and you love the engineer class, then you're going to love this engineer as well in Firefall. And you know what defines an engineer is the amount of toys you can put down in one sitting. At level 1 you start with that measly turret, but that turret is amazing, and you can level up quickly to level 4 and get a med station to put down right next to that turret so it can have a buddy, and together they make an unstoppable combo. And at level 10 you're actually able to put down 3 toys, which can be any of the following: a turret, a healing station, a force field, or even a pulse generator, which pushes guys away. They each have their own benefits, but the most common builds that I've seen in both PvE and PvP are turret, healing station, force field. You can't get any more basic than that. So when doing PvE as an engineer, be sure to set up shop before calling down a thumper. I briefly explained in my last video that thumping is the most generic form of PvE that allows you to collect ore and minerals needed to manufacture better weapons and armor. We get set up in a good location, although my turret placement is a little poor. For turrets, you definitely want to put them on higher ground so they get a better angle for shooting. I put my turret at level ground so it has trouble shooting the mobs on higher ground, as you'll see throughout this video. As for weapons, the engineer starts with a great primary repair gun that shoots homing bullets as an alt fire that takes up 2 ammo each. I don't have this currently equipped, but what I do have equipped is a repair gun with an alt fire that shoots heavy hitting plasma bolts that each take up 4 ammo each. The homing bullets on the initial gun are much more useful in PvP, as you'll see in the engineer PvP video. The repair gun itself is actually pretty decent for damage in PvE, as it does AoE while healing your toys. Just be warned though, the repair gun actually acts as a heal over time, so you don't have to constantly spam it over your turret. Rather, just set it and forget it, or hit it one and you're done. The reason I'm spamming my repair gun is that AoE damage against those AoE damage against those bugs. You can spam it for more damage, of course. So here we see me just owning some bugs with my teammates Aristan and Taxmaster, who volunteered to help me. Sometimes it's hard to find a thumping group, but usually if you are persistent enough, you can always find a group willing to farm with you. So here we're just killing some mosquitoes. For long range targets, you see me definitely switching out to the plasma bolts, and you see me targeting the little bugs who are mobbing the thumper and mobbing my stations with just the repair gun, because I can hit them more than one at a time. So I'm just going. I'm a killing machine. I'm running around. I'm shooting. I'm reloading. I'm repairing. You can see my teammates running up to my repair station to get heals when they need it. And so the engineer itself is it's a little base of sorts. It is just a wonderful PvE support. Offense, it does a little bit of everything. You see my repair station going a little bit down, and you see this terror claw come in, and the only bad thing I can say about the engineer is that they lack huge single target DPS. When you see this big tank bug come along, I'm barely doing any damage to it, but I'm lucky to have a recon and assault focus it down. This isn't usually a problem because the big bug usually targets you and leaves your thumper alone as you slowly focus it down. So even though the engineer lacks single target DPS, it's usually fine, and it doesn't really hinder your damage. You don't even really notice it. And here I'm just killing some explosive bugs, making sure they're off my thumper and they don't explode on my thumper. When one of them explodes right next to your thumper, it can do anywhere from 15 to 20%, so just make sure that a mob of them doesn't rush it. And usually if you're smart and you're aware and you're keeping mob control pretty decently, then you'll have nothing to worry about. So we're just finishing up these mobs. My thumper is still going. I can't see what 81%. We're doing fine. My repair station, my turret's still up. My teammates have health. We are in great shape. We're only 3-manning this. I think in my previous video it was either 4 or 5, which is somewhat the norm. I do believe it's a little excessive if you can handle them yourself, but generally three is a good number to get a number of good number of resources, so you don't have to share or split between more people. And in the future, they're going to release bigger and bigger thumpers. They'll release a normal thumper, probably like a heavy thumper or a large thumper, and those will probably draw massive bugs and massive, I can't even imagine, mosquitoes, spiders, I don't know, guys. It'll draw just massive everything to your thumper, and you'll need an army, maybe even a battalion of soldiers to kill these guys. And so you can see I called up my thumper. We're just finishing up these last guys. So in a mid-video recap, guys, engineers have great short-range AoE. They have great long-range plasma bolt capabilities. They have healing. They have support focus fire from a turret, and they have they provide distractions to mobs. They are a solid all-around PvE monster. Now we can talk a little about refining the engineer's technique and what makes a difference between a good engineer and an amazing one. So I'll focus on some tips to increase your DPS and your efficiency. So in this second thumping session, you'll see that I changed my turret location, and I look for a good location on higher ground. This really helps focus down all mobs in the area, so the turret won't be shooting down at the ground with enemies higher than it, which is a little problem. So definitely find a nice high spot for your turret. Most rocks do work. You just kind of have to place it kind of weird on the rock, and that usually suffices for it. And so you'll also see that I put the med station a little bit closer to the recon, because I noticed the recon constantly having to jump down and walk over to the med station. So I moved it a little bit closer, and I moved it right next to the thumper as a distraction to other bugs, so maybe they'll go on my med station instead of my thumper. So the turret, as good as it is, it doesn't actually automatically switch to enemies instantly. It has a pretty large delay, but you can push the F button, which adds or targets enemies. You'll see a red square appear around the enemy, and this helps focus down the mobs and helps target the turret right onto the mobs instantly. So you won't be missing out on that DPS as the turret. So you can see as I'm pushing F, the little square reticles go around those mobs, and you can see my turret instantly switch over and say, I want to eat up that bad boy, and sure enough, it sure does. So a good engineer also moves around plenty and also provides a lot of firepower against the mobs to serve as a distraction. Shooting a mob usually makes it target you, so be wary of your health and keep baiting those mobs away from your thumper. If I could have used a grenade launcher in this video as my secondary weapon to kill the mobs more effectively, but I really wanted to show you the basics of gameplay, so I avoided using that. But note that when you do mob, you definitely do want to have that grenade launcher, and you want to round them up, and you just want to shoot them, and you want to explode them all in one big group to, better use your ammo and better use your time. So when you reach level 5, you can purchase a grenade launcher, and please do so as soon as you can, as it can be useful for mobbing massively AoE mob. I just got a tongue twister there. So it can be useful in mobbing and AoEing down your bugs real quickly. So here we're doing a lot better than last time. We're just killing some more bugs and some mosquitoes, and I'm actually really interested to see what other bugs they release into this game. I'm sure they're going to add spiders. I'm sure they're going to add some other things. Oh, you got a loot drop. So another good thing about the engineer is since you're kind of in the middle of battle, if something drops, if Crystite drops, you're definitely one that can pick it up right away, as opposed to the recon, or as opposed to Assault, who's constantly jumping away from the mobs as he tries to fire them down with his grenades or his rockets. I don't even know what they are. Plasma balls. There we go. As he tries to focus them down with his plasma balls. So we're doing quite well. The thumper's at 75% life and almost 60% capacity. You can see the bugs. They're actually targeting my turret and my med station over the thumper, which is a good thing, because you can heal your turrets. You can't heal your thumper. So here you can see a perfect example of not doing a good job as an engineer. I do a bad job baiting this Terraclaw here, and I'm not flying around. I'm not avoiding his attacks. Instead, I just got destroyed. If my teammates were smart, they would have picked me up. but they just leave me to die. Let this be a lesson. Don't let your teammates die. Sometimes it happens during thumping. Sometimes you just get mobbed. Sometimes you run into explosive bug. But it definitely happens a lot. So just be aware of your teammates' health and how they're doing. So I run right back into the gameplay. And just so you know, any class can pick up any class. Yep, I said it. Any class can pick up any class. So you don't have to be a medic in order to revive your teammates. You just go over to his corpse, or not his corpse, his down body, because if it's a corpse, he's already dead. You just go down to his down body, and you push E, and you can see as I'm picking up this recon right here, I go up to him, I just hold my E button, I let that green circle charge, he comes back up, he says thank you, I'm alive, I'm doing well. And so when you're playing as a team, guys, just be very aware of if your team needs help, of assistance or anything. So, and you can see the life bars in the top left. So just be very, very aware. So we're doing, I believe this is a third session. No, we're just cleaning up. I can't see. Yep, this is actually a third session of thumping. And usually if you find a good vein with good ore, this is actually not too good of an ore spot. It's only 30% coralite. You actually want like a 50% and then maybe like 5% something else. But definitely it definitely isn't the best. But when you do thump, you tend to go maybe 3 or 4 in a row, just so you don't have to move spots. So here we are, just focusing down more guys. Just killing more arachnos. We're doing well. Taskmaster, he's grabbing the heals. He's going to the med station. He's very aware of his health. So everything is going swimmingly. I think I do bust out my grenade launcher very shortly, and I want to show you some of this gameplay and how effective the grenade launcher is at PvE. I don't see it coming. I don't remember when it is, but when it does, just pay attention to the grenade launcher, and it just blasts away those mobs, especially if they surround your station, especially if they surround your thumper. And you don't want your bugs eating away that thumper, so whenever you can, if you see bugs just attached to it, just gnawing away, nom 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 on it, just bust out your repair gun, shoot it a couple times, those bugs will fly right off. And you see I do a much better job with this Terror Claw. I'm baiting it around my med station. I'm killing it with my turret. We're focusing it down. It does get a few hits on my thumper, which is bad, and my thumper is getting low, but I believe that we can handle it. It's actually getting down to 22%. Let's hope not to lose this, because the engineer is such a PvE monster. It would be upsetting to see a thumper go to waste. It does happen, but usually it's not the norm, and engineers are just so wonderful for PvE. So yeah, we are just going to keep watching the end of this video, and as we bring you the Engineer PvE summary. They have great AoE and long-range DPS, they have a healing station and turret support, they have the ability to distract mobs, they lack single target DPS, but that doesn't matter as long as the mob's not attacking your thumper. They get the illustrious 5 turrets out of 5 PvE rating. They may possibly be the best thumping class currently available in the game. So guys, take advantage of this if you love to kill bugs, if you love to work as a team, and I'll bring you guys some tips just coming right up about how to play your engineer a little bit better. And be sure to use F to target enemies, attack mobs attacking your thumper, dodge and move around, keep an eye on your deployables health, and have fun. Don't do a grind fest. Just keep this game exciting for you guys. And hopefully I'll see you guys, play with you guys, and thank you for watching. Peabutnutterninja signing out.